Running Google Ads can be intimidating with so many targeting options, so many options when it comes to placements, and also figuring out how to track results. What's those same aspects that make Google Ads wildly effective for real estate leads if you're able to crack the code. In today's video, I'll show you how to do keyword research, create your campaign, and launch your first ad. Let's begin. Hey, it's Jaime. If we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. All right, so let's get to work. We are looking at Google Ads. Specifically, we are in the keyword planner. We want to find some search terms that we can embed into our ads so we can start showing up whenever people search for those searches or those keywords. So as an example, we're going to go to discover new keywords just to get an idea of what keywords we can actually use. So we're going to go with, let's just say you need to sell your home and you need to sell your home in Chicago. So we're going to be looking for real estate agents in Chicago. Get results. Then you're going to get a ton of information. Now, check out the location, check out the language, the network, which is going to be Google, and then the past 12 months. If you want to get a little bit more local, which I suggest that you do since you're in Chicago, as this example suggests, you're going to select Chicago because you don't necessarily care about the entire country, as you are looking more specifically for the searches that are happening within your community if you are in Chicago. So you're going to see that the average monthly searches of something like real estate agents, well, Chicago real estate agents is 390, and then some related search terms of top real estate agents in Chicago get searched for 110 times on average per month, but you also see the competition. And then you see on average how much it costs to get those spots. So the top of page bid on the low range is $3.40, and then the top of page bid on the high range. So you can expect your cost per click to be right around this amount. So you can see that anywhere from $3.40 to $7 and nearly 10 cents for these keywords. Then you get to see the competition. You can rank it based off of competition, only looking at high. You can rank it based off of the lowest bid, and you can rank it based off of highest monthly searches, which is where you generally start. So if you were to just select real estate agents, again, keep in mind we already have Chicago highlighted, so those searches that are happening in Chicago, you get to see a different picture, which is the average monthly searches for somebody that types in real estate agent is 1,000 per month. Realtors near me, 320, real estate agents near me, and so on and so on. So I highly suggest that you spend some additional time in this keyword planner so you can get some keywords that have search volume, and you can get keywords that you actually want so you can start generating some business. So this is where you would go as you prepare to launch your campaign. So let's head over to the campaign and get started. We're going to go to campaign, we're going to go to new, and then we are met with a goal. So every time you create a campaign, you can set a goal or you can go without a goal guidance. A goal is nothing more than a preset that Google sets up for you, so you don't have to guess at what you're wanting to accomplish. So let's just say you're wanting to accomplish sales. It'll have some presets on the back end whenever you go and click continue, so you can start creating a campaign that is conducive to driving sales. Same with leads, same with website traffic, product and brand consideration, brand awareness and reach, and for apps. For our purposes today, we're actually going to be using website traffic. We want to We want to drive traffic over to our website. So we want people to land over on our website. And we are wanting to only advertise in the search. So whenever somebody types in real estate agent in Chicago, though we want to be in the search bar. We don't want to be on the right hand side, kind of on the display side, on the right hand side whenever somebody searches there. And we're not necessarily concerned with shopping or YouTube ads at this moment, which is what video is. We're going to go with search. I'm going to type in my name or my website's name so we can get some keyword ideas on the back end. I'm not going to worry about the campaign name per se at this moment. I am going to exclude the search network and the display network because those are outside of the Google search. So I'm going to take those networks out as they have not been very fruitful for me whenever I've run campaigns. We're going to look at the additional settings. Now you're going to start seeing some differences. If you haven't run a campaign here as of recently, and I'm talking within the past couple of weeks, then this is going to look a little bit differently. Google Ads is notorious for changing almost every week. They change things, they tweak things, they move things around. So if your screen doesn't look exactly like this, know that that's common. But the functionality for the most part is typically here is just presented somewhere else. So I'll point out some changes. If you've run some ads in the past, you'll know what I'm talking about. But as we continue going, you'll notice some differences. All right, so we are gonna go with no, we're not gonna use dynamic search ads right now. So dynamic search ads, we'll read the definition. Dynamic search ads target relevant searches automatically based on your website, then use headlines automatically customized to people's actual searches. This setting determines what domain, language, and targeting source to use for your dynamic search ad. To create a dynamic search ad, you'll need to create a dynamic ad group in the next step. So essentially what that is telling us is whenever somebody types in, let's just say best real estate agent for buyers, the word buyers can be switched with something else. There's going to be using different titles, are going to be using different searches depending on what people search for. So they're going to be adjusting your actual ad based off of what is searched for. So the title and what is searched for, they happen to coincide, which it beats you having to split test to make that happen. Now, we're not going to go with a dynamic search ad today. I want to keep this basic and foundational, but just know that dynamic search ads essentially tie in what people are searching for and put it in the actual title. So had I put my domain here, then I have the option of using Google's index for my website. So essentially how Google categorizes my website. Use URLs from my website feed only. Then I could look at adjusting that. Right now it's not highlightable because I haven't put in the domain. So in the ad set, whenever we're setting up the ad groups that we want to show our ads in front of, there is where I would start adjusting and adding it even says it here, you'll need to create a dynamic ad group in the next step. We're not going to worry about that for today's video, but just know that dynamic ads are something that are here available to you, very similar to the Facebook dynamic ads. All right, and we're going to go to the United States. I'm going to X out of that. We are going to highlight people in or regularly in targeted locations, which happens to be Chicago, where we're going to include in the radius. Well, it highlights half the water. So let's just stick to the location, Chicago. All right, there you go. Again, to get to that, all you have to do is location options, people in or regularly in. English is fine. Audiences. You can select various audiences, so you can select on basically who they are. So well, I'll click on it so I don't have to explain it. You have the marital status, the education, home ownership status. So you can identify or call out the people based off of their demographics, or you can select it based off of what they're regularly doing. So their habits, their interests, their affinity. If they're regularly consumers of banking and finance information, they're avid investors, you can select them there. If they're avid consumers of technology information, so mobile enthusiasts, so those iPhone people and all that fun stuff, then you would highlight them there. So again, that is based off of the affinity and their interest and habits. Or you can target based off of what they're actively researching or planning. So it's commonly known as, well, it's labeled in market. People that are have presently gone outside of their norm and started researching something, which gives Google the hunch that they're on the search for to make a purchase. So when you click there, you can see that if their typical pattern is broken and they start looking at automobile websites and start looking, let's just say, at parts, then there is some inkling to Google saying like, hey, this person is in need of auto repair or something similar to that. Same with real estate. When you go to real estate and people start looking for commercial properties and they start getting into the websites that are more commercial property based for sale, then that gives Google a hint that people are in market to make a purchase here recently. And then how they have interacted with your business. In order for this to work, you would need to have your Google tag installed on your website, and if you're doing some YouTube ads, it would need to be connected, and you need to create some audiences for your YouTube users or people that have viewed your content. But more specifically for Google Ads, people that have interacted with you in some capacity on your website, then you can select that right here based off of if they gone to your website, to your buyer's page, to your seller's page, gave you information, and engaged with you in some sort of way. So this is what's commonly referred to as retargeting. We're going to back out of that. We're not going to use any of that. All right, we're just going to leave it in the observation mode. And we're going to go with daily. Oh, notice that I'm not going to use any of these audiences. I'm actually just going to go straight for the keywords. We're going to go with $10. All right. Now, here is where I get to select what I want to focus on. So do I want to focus on driving more conversions? Do I want to focus on it based off of a conversion value? None of the conversions that I've created, since I don't have physical products, I don't optimize based off of conversion value. Most of what comes in is of leads, so real estate leads. So I don't necessarily place too much value on that, just the quantity more than the actual value, again, because it's not a product based item like an e-store or anything like that. I am going to select clicks. I want to optimize for clicks, and the reason being, although I do have a conversion set up, which all you have to do is go to tools and set up a conversion, the reason that I'm selecting clicks is because I have a conversion already working on a YouTube ads campaign. And on that YouTube ads campaign, I have paused all my other conversions and have only left one active conversion working. So I don't want to mess that up, and I don't want to click on or turn on any other conversions, which for this would have been, let's say, seller conversions. So I don't want to mess any of that up. So I'm going to optimize for clicks. If you have your own conversions and set those up, then of course you would select the conversion that you want to get going. Set a maximum cost per click. I am not going to do that. I want to get as many clicks as possible, so we'll let that go. Show more settings. So as you see here, had I selected the conversions, then we would be looking at that because that's the only one that I have going on. The ad schedule, I want it to run always. And then the ad rotation, optimized per best performing ads, and you'll see what that looks like in a few seconds. All right, so site link extensions. Well, let's go with ad extensions. Get up to 15% higher click-through rate by showing additional information on your ad. So a traditional ad will have 3 titles and then a description, but you can make it a bit larger. And the reason that you want to make it larger is you originally have 4 ads at the top of the page and then 3 ads in the bottom. Well, I'll show you. Let's do that. Top realtor in Dallas. So compare top realtors. So you see here, this down here are your ad extensions. So a site link extension would be this, that blue right here. The call out extensions, they would be right here, down here. No, that's actually part of the description. So where's my call outs? There may not be any here. I'm not seeing them. Call out extensions aren't necessarily going to have a hyperlink click through. They're just going to highlight what you want to promote within your business. And then call extensions are your phone number. So I don't see phone numbers or call outs unless I'm just flat out missing it. But a typical ad will be this right here. You're gonna have that website, which you will be copying it. You will be embedding there, and then your 2 descriptions, which I would estimate that this is gonna be the first description, and then the second description. It strikes me odd that I can't find a call out extension, but that's fine. All right, we're not going to add any for our purposes today, but this is where you would go. You would just add a new site link extension, create the text, describe a little bit about it, and then put the final URL that you're directing people to. So as an example here, they're putting top agents near you, and then this is the description, and then the final URL is when I click here, it would take me there. Same thing over here, agents compete for you, and which is the title, the description, and the URL is wherever this link is taking me. So again, the text, which would be the title, what we just saw over in blue, the description, a little bit more about where they're going to be going, and then the final URL. You can select up to 4 in one particular ad. And that's the site link extensions. The call out extensions, I wish I had an example for you, but you can select 4 call out extensions per ad as well, which again adds more business information to your ad. It's not going to be a hyperlink, but it at least calls out some additional information that you want to highlight. And then the call extensions is where they put your phone number there. You have the option of using the phone number as is, or you have the option of providing a trackable phone number that Google uses to let you know how many calls came from it. Then you have some additional call outs. These aren't all too frequent, so I'm not going to bother going through all of these. And many of them are product based anyway, so not concerned about that at the moment. When you go to save and continue. And this is where, how do we come over here to our keywords and done our homework? We would be able to come here, get our keywords, and go back. You can download the keywords right here, so when you click there, you have them all in an Excel sheet, and then work through those at your leisure and highlighting the ones that you want that aren't as competitive, that don't cost as much, but do have some volume behind them. So you just copy those from there and put them here. Since I put my website at the beginning of the campaign, it's giving me some suggestions for keywords based off of what is on my website. But for our example, we're just going to say, I want to target people that are agent that type in, let's say, top agent in Chicago, best agent in Chicago, top realtor in Chicago, things of that nature, things that people that are looking to make a real estate purchase would be searching for. Think of yourself. You are a consumer. So what would you be searching for if you were looking for a real estate agent, or if you were looking for somebody that would help you with your real estate transaction? Now, notice that I didn't do anything else to this outside of typed it and pressed enter. So the keywords work on row format. So whatever you want, if you wanted to just target realtor, you just press enter. Real estate agent, and then press enter. So every line is a search. And then if you leave it without any quotation marks or any brackets, then it's a broad match. Anything that gets close to whatever you're putting, whenever somebody searches for something that is close to that, your ad has the potential to show in front of them. So let's just say somebody said top agents in Chicago, then that's a close derivative of top agent in Chicago, so it has a good chance of showing. Keyword, which if you put quotation marks around it, then you're telling Google, hey, show my ad whenever somebody types this in, regardless. So if somebody types in top real estate agent, it would show best real estate agent. If somebody were to be typing that and you didn't necessarily put that in your criteria, as long as it has real estate agent, then your ad has a potential to show. And then when you go to exact match in brackets, you're telling Google, I only want to show my ad if somebody says top agent in Chicago today. I only want to show up if somebody types that in. And that's your exact match. All right, we're not gonna cover broad match modifier. If you want to look at that, just go to click learn more. But there is another variation here, which is broad match modifier, similar to broad match, except that the broad match modifier option only shows ad in searches that include the words with a plus sign in front of them, women's hat, or variations of the plus term. So essentially, in this example, it'd be the women's part, which would be the broad match modifier. We're not going to get too much into that, but just know that there's another option that is not highlighted down here. We're going to save and continue. To ensure that your combination, okay, well, since I'm not going to run it, that's fine, but let me just see if I can get the URL. That way, that little triangle goes away. How do we select a dynamic ad? As a reminder, a dynamic ad will match, or as closely match, the search term, whatever's being searched with, to your actual ad. And the ad would be changed dynamically. So we would not have these options. How do we select the dynamic ad? As that's part of it. The dynamic ad does the work for you as long as it gets close enough. So if somebody types in best real estate agent in Dallas, then that Dallas word, as an example, would change accordingly. So Dallas, and then somebody would have typed in Fort Worth, things like that. That's a dynamic ad. But I wanted to show you the ability to do this manually. But as a reminder, had you selected a dynamic ad, then you would not have the option to highlight this right here. Alrighty, so let's go with best agent in Chicago. I'm just gonna fill this out so you see what you can do. Top agent, sell home now. Just filling some things out. And this display path is nothing more than the display. It's a phantom link. It does not have to be an actual working link that you have on your website. But what I like to do here is just type in the keyword or something close to the geography that I'm highlighting. So in this example, we're talking about Chicago, so I place Chicago there so it looks like it's a little bit more specific to the area. And then best agent around. Wow, typing is bad. Had you selected site link extensions and call out extensions and call extensions, those would already be in here, so you wouldn't be editing them as well. Now, if you're tracking your conversions, this is where you would put that in to make sure that you are able to track all of the conversions that are happening from this particular ad. But that's a little bit beyond the scope of our video today, so I'm not going to cover that. But outside of that, all you have to do is click done and you are ready to go. If you found value in this video today, please be sure to hit the subscribe button so we can talk again soon.